I've been like convicted to do this, like, I don't know, video thing, series or whatever, for a while now, just to do something, because I'm like so antisocial and introverted, and you know, usually when people see me, especially if it's at like church or any type of thing where I'm like in the spotlight a little bit, like because I'm like playing an instrument or I might be singing or something, like I get really reclusive, because I'm so like insecure and have so little confidence about myself, I guess. So I just wanted to do something to tell my story, I guess. Not really tell my story, but just to talk about who I am, or maybe things I've done. I don't even know. Like, I literally have no idea what I'm doing right now. So, you know, I'm 35, pretty sure. 35 years old, and got a daughter, and you know, I'm married for the second time. I've got a beautiful wife named Nicole, and a son on the way, which is crazy. So, a lot of great things happening, but my life wasn't always like this. Like, I literally have nothing to complain about. Like, my life is great. Nothing to complain about. But, you know, things didn't happen to me. Like, I made these things happen, these bad things, these things that I would consider like these are the things of my past, the things that created who I am today, or whatever spin you want to put on it. Regardless of that, who I am is just who I am. I don't know what that means, but I did a lot of stupid things. You know, I was a severe alcoholic for like 9 years, and you know, drink every day at work and at home, and you know, I was married. My first marriage failed because of my drinking, and in large part due to that. And you know, I essentially lost a family because of that, and people suffered, and basically anyone who got in my way for those 9 years, they were bulldozed by this. I don't even know what I was. It's like talking about a different person. It's like it didn't happen to me. It was someone else. You know, I'm always so concerned about like telling these kinds of things, because I don't want people to think like, okay, another sob story, you know, some guy who thinks he needs like some attention, or he deserves some type of spotlight in some way. And I don't want that to be what this is. And I understand if people think that, and I do care if people think that, because I care what people think, and I don't want people to think that about me. But my life is certainly gone in a lot of different directions, you know, whether it be the military or just the darkness in general. And I don't say that to be dramatic. Like, it was like a literal darkness in my soul for so many years. I don't know how to describe it other than it was scary. And every night I would lay my head down, if I got to the pillow sober enough to do this, I would lay my head down and just pray, like, save me. Like, I was so desperate. God, save me. Like, get me out of this downward spiral or whatever you want to call it. Get me out of this darkness. Take the evil away from me. Take it out of my life. Fill me with light. All of these things. And every day I'd wake up and then I would just repeat the same thing. I would just do the same thing. Eventually I realized that I already was set free. The darkness was already gone. The evil was already gone. I just had to accept it. But by not accepting it, I kept it around. I held on to it. And I almost wanted to hold on to it. I wanted to hold on to this darkness because it became my identity. And without it, I didn't know who I was anymore. And that's what God wanted. He wanted me to not know who I was. He wanted me to lose my identity because I had built this identity for myself. That's not the intention. I needed to lose my identity so I could find my identity in Him, in God. I eventually did that, I guess. I don't know. I'm so scared to say that I've got things figured out because I definitely don't. But I've eventually, essentially what I've done is I've let go of that person. You know, we all create this like image of who we are, and it's easy to do on like Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. It's easy to create this image of who you want people to think you are, but truly that's not who you are. It's not. And so I try now to just be who I am, and not what I created, not what I became, but who I am. Who I am in Christ, not who I am in Brandon, not the person I want everyone to think I am. This strong, tough guy, you know, who's, you know, seen and done things, and, you know, who's drank himself to death probably. I don't, you know, who might be cool or creative or you know, handsome or, you know, all these things like I've thought of myself over the years, and none of that matters. None of it matters at all. It's funny, I was watching my wife, I was watching her watch This Is Us. I just got so angry at the show. I was just like, this is so dumb. It's just whining. Scene after scene is some, you know, emotional, you know, train wreck of complaining and whining about life, about what, you know. And it just made me so mad. And then I thought to myself, like, why are you getting mad about this show that everyone loves and cries about? And, you know, like, why does it make you mad? And I genuinely think it's because, like, I'm so afraid to experience, like, emotion. And, like, it's funny, like, when I watch, you know, a movie that I like, I know, like, some emotional, touching scene is coming up, I'll fast forward it. I'm, like, so afraid to experience, like, I'm not just talking about, like, crying and stuff, like, or love and all that, but, like, I'm just afraid to experience any emotion at all. And the only emotion I've felt comfortable with over the last 20 years is anger and bitterness. You know, the emotion that literally does nothing good for you. Realize it's a heart issue within me. As silly as it is, comparing this to a show, I just realized this is a heart issue. The fact that you get mad about a TV show and emotional scenes, and how silly is it that it made me think of who I am. You know, the show probably accomplished exactly what it set out to accomplish in someone, and which makes me mad because I don't want to like that show, you know. And I'm never gonna watch it again, that's for sure. I guess if there's anything out of this one, like, conversation or whatever it is, because I'm a lot more comfortable having this conversation than I am with you in person. With you in person, I'll be And I'm still terrible at it, but in person, like I can't get this out. I'm not brave enough to have a conversation with someone face to face. It's so stupid. I guess if there's one thing to get out of this, whatever this is, it's you're not who you've become, or who you've become is not who you are. It's probably a better way of putting it. I've become this introverted, bitter, angry, fake person. But that's not who I am. That's what I've become. That's what I've created for myself. And there's still a lot of flashes of that in me today, right now, as I sit here. And that's something I'll work towards changing. What can you do? What is it? It's hard to identify these things in yourself, to be honest with yourself, completely honest. Stop pretending you're better than you are. And maybe this doesn't apply to everyone, but who you've become is not who you are. To find out who you are, you literally have to know Christ. Otherwise, what you are is simply a mirage. It's an illusion. It's not real. You don't have the capability to understand what real is without God.